Hello students, how are you? I think all of you are well by the grace of Almighty Creator. I hope staying at home you are feeling boring, but every things have merits and demerits. Only merits, there is no things in this world that has only merits or no things that are only demerits. So staying at home you are getting an opportunity to learn different things from different teachers. That means that class I am taking, I think all the students of first years in Bangladesh can enjoy this class. Not only the students of Chitta Mohila Degree College, but also the students of all the first year students and even the second year students of Bangladesh. And even any English learner can attend this class because learning English language is not different thing. Every classes the ways are same. In my first class, I have told the ways of learning English is four, and the four skills are listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So, if you try to apply these four things in your practical life, I think all of you will be able to learn English fast. In my first class, I told my identity. My name is Pranav Kumar Vishwas, lecturer, Chitta Mohila Degree College, Tarukhada, Khulna. And my first class, I told you the importance of education, and I think all of you or some of you may be able to learn the importance of education. Actually, education is power. Knowledge is power, and education is also power, because an educated person has mass power or many types of power, and by applying that power he may be a happy person, he may be a peaceful person in this world, because without knowledge the obstacles that stays in your path, you will not be able to overtake that obstacles. This is a power. So try to achieve that power is staying in the path of education. Students, this is the main goal of education. So my today's class is also the importance, the purpose of education and the ways of learning English. The purpose and the ways of learning English. This is all it is the second lecture. It's my second lecture for the first year students. Try to understand what is education. I told in my first class that purpose of education is achieving a power by which you may able to overtake all the obstacles that stays in your path. What kinds of obstacles? Some thinking that to lead our life we have to consider, we have to consider, all of you, or we have to face what? We have to face fear in our life, different kinds of fear, different kinds of anxiety, different kinds of anger, different kinds of greediness, etc. We have to lead our life through all these problems. A truly educated person is able to overtake all these obstacles, all these problems in his life easily. If he wants to do something, fear may fear may come in his mind, but a truly educated person can overtake this fear, applying his knowledge, applying his proper decision. In this way, when any greediness comes on his mind, then an educated person is able to overcome that kinds of false greediness, is able to overcome all kinds of false greediness, then he will be happy. In this way, if a person wants to be happy, he or she must receive proper education. And if he wants to receive proper education, he or she must stay in the path of education. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, thank you. So, this is the way of learning education. Students, try to understand my point. If you try to stay the path of truth, path of education, day after day, your inner power will increase, and through that increased power, you will able to be happy, to be truly happy in this world. So, my first point, try to stay in the path of education, then try to understand the ways of learning English. In my last class, I told you the fault of all education. The fault is you don't try to apply your learning things in your practical life. And so, the learning will not be leading to you. Learning will not be peaceful or pleasant to you. This is the fault of our learning process. So, learning education is a boring thing to many students, but it's not. Education is a pleasant thing. Because if you learn something, if your knowledge will be increased, then what happens? You will get mental satisfaction by feeling the power of education. So, try to apply the learning things in your practical life. And if you fail to apply the learning things in your practical life, learning will not be completed. Learning will not be completed. Try to understand my point, thinking that from the very beginning of your study life, English language or English subject has entered in your life. And the purpose of learning English is, I told in my last class, only communication. But thinking that you have passed 10 or 11 years in your study life, but many of you haven't tried to apply English language in your practical life. That means you won't try to communicate with others through English. So English subject will not give you any pleasure. English subject will be fearful or boring to you. For why? The only reason is you don't apply your learning English in your practical life. It's the fault of our education system, it's fault of you, and also fault of us, because we are failing to make you understand the importance of learning, importance of education. So you are not motivated to learn proper education, to utilize the learning in your practical life. And if you don't overcome this fault, your learning process will not be fruitful, and it's a proved thing. Thinking that if you try to speak in English from the very beginning of your study life or life, then what happened? I think now all of you, or most of the students of you, I think will be able to communicate with others through English. This is the difference between applying learning things in your practical life or not applying learning matter in your practical life. This is the main difference. So try to understand my point and try to apply the subject matters in your practical life. Now my goal is purpose of education and the ways of learning English. My last class I told, if you want to learn English, you have to adapt with 4 skills. The skills are reading, writing, listening and speaking. You should memorize these 4 skills: reading, writing, listening and speaking. So if you want to make a foreign language understandable, then first of all, what should you do? First of all, you should learn vocabulary. You should learn vocabulary. You should enrich your word stock. You should enrich your word stock. That is called vocabulary. And there is a way of learning this vocabulary. I am giving an example. If you really understand this example, I think all of you will able to understand the ways of learning vocabulary. Look at the blackboard. Okay, students, look at the blackboard. Beauty beautifies her beautiful face beautifully because she likes beauty. Here I have used 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 words regarding beauty, thinking that beauty is a form of a word, beautifies is another form of beauty, beautiful is also another form of beauty, and beautifully is another form of beauty, and beauty, last beauty is also another form of beauty. So, if you want to enrich vocabulary, what should you do? You should at first learn a word. Then you should understand that the word stays in what group. Do you know how many groups in English language? I think many of you know. In any language, crores, millions or crores words may stay. But all the words, that means in English language, all the words stay within only 8 groups. That means the words may be classified into 8 groups. I think many of you know the groups. The groups are noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction and interjection. So, when you have learned a word, suppose if the word is beauty, then you should at first know the meaning of beauty. The meaning of beauty is fairiness. Understand? The beauty meaning of the word is something that looks very nice. So this is the meaning of beauty. Then you should learn beauty stays in what parts of speech. Among that 8 groups, beauty is a noun. Is it beauty a noun? Or is it a verb? Or is it a pronoun? Or is it another part of speech? You should learn that things. I have used 5 types, 5 formation of beauty in one sentence, and think that the words, position of words are not same. First position, beauty. Second position, beautifies. The root word is beautify. This is the root word. The root word is beautify. Here the sentence stays in present indefinite tense, and as the subject is third person singular number, so s or yes has added with verb. So here the formation is beautifies. So here beautifies is a verb. Then another word, beautiful. Here a suffix has added with beauty. A suffix has added, the suffix is full. Full suffix has added with beauty. And then the beauty has been converted into an adjective. And here beautify, that means here beautifies, phi suffix has been added with beauty, and the word has been converted into a verb. Then now third word. The third word is beautifully. Here beautifully. fully suffix has added with the word beauty. So, beauty fully this suffix bears adverb. Now come the last word, beauty. Here, beauty is a noun and here beauty is also a noun. But here is also a difference between these two nouns. Do you understand? Or can you understand what is the difference between this noun and this noun? Can you understand? Can you guess? I think some of you or many of you can guess. This beauty is noun and this beauty is also noun, but this beauty is an abstract. This beauty is a proper noun. And this beauty is an abstract noun. Is an abstract noun. So, try to understand the point. Beauty, the figure of this beauty and the figure of this beauty is same. But the difference is this beauty is proper noun and this beauty is abstract noun. Why? The answer is that this beauty bears the name of a person, but this beauty bears the quality of a person. This is the difference. Through this beauty, we can understand the name of a person. Through this beauty, we can understand the quality of something. So when we understand something from the quality of something, then the noun is called abstract noun. But when the word mentions the name of something, the actual name, definite name of something, then the word is called abstract noun. So students, try to understand how you will increase your vocabulary and how your learning will be interesting. This is the way. This is the way of making your learning more pleasurable, more understanding. If you memorize a word at first, you should learn what parts of speech the word is. Then you should know the another forms of that word. If the word is noun, then what is the verb of that noun? Suppose beauty, the verb of beauty is beautify. Then what is the adjective of that word? Then you should learn the adjective of beauty is beautiful. And the adverb of that word is beautifully. In this way, if you enrich your vocabulary, then learning process will be more interesting to you, and I think many of you will able to learn vocabulary the proper way. Then comes the another point. When you have learned vocabulary properly, and or in the same time, you should pay attention the position of the word. The words puts in what positions. This is your second target. Thinking that in English language, a common sentence pattern. The sentence pattern is subject, verb, object, extension. Sometimes look at the blackboard. Subject, verb, object, and extension. Sometimes extension may stress before subjects. This is a common sentence pattern of English language. And look at the blackboard. I have written down a sentence. The sentence beauty, beautify her beautiful face. Here, beauty is subject. Beautify is verb. Here, her beautiful face. All are objects. Beauty beautifies because it's a phrase. Her beautiful face together make a phrase, and that phrase performs like a single word. So these all the phrases are objects, and beautifully we can say an extension of this word because is a conjunction. Because is a conjunction, and after conjunction another sentence has started, and after this conjunction again subject has come. Here likes is a verb and beauty is an object. So students, try to understand the point. After learning vocabulary, you pay attention to these sentences. The position of the word beauty, subject, that means subject always either noun or pronoun. This is the position of the word. When if you want to use a subject, you must use the subject as a noun or pronoun. Then the position verb, you must use a verb after the nouns. That means you must use a verb after noun. That noun is used as a subject. Then if object stays, then you must put object after verb. This is the grammatical rule, and it's very easy. Learning English is very easy. So after verb you have used object. If object stays, object may not stay in a sentence. If stays, you must use object after verb. Then extension, if the feelings is not ended. If your feelings is not ended, then to express your feeling, you have to use some another phrases. That phrases is called extension. Extension is not another thing. Extension is some types of phrases that puts after object or after verb to make your inner feelings more clear. In this way, this sentence I have used another conjunction, and after conjunction I have used another sentence, but the formation is same. Formation is not different from first one. Formation is same, and the formation is again at first subject is she, then likes is verb, then beauty. If you try to learn English in this way and try to communicate with others through English, then English subject will be very pleasurable, very pleasant to you, and every kind of fear will be removed from your mind. So, I call upon you to follow my instruction and enjoy English class, English learning. Thank you very much.